Welcome to Silicon Valley Asian Business Talk.
Hello, everyone. This is Roger Chen from University of San Francisco Center for Business Studies and Innovation, Asia Pacific. Welcome, BV Jagadeesh, and also thank you for joining our interview program. Would you please briefly introduce yourself?
Yes. First of all, Roger, thank you so much for having me as part of this. It's such a pleasure and an honor to be associated with University of San Francisco and then be part of this. I came to this country in 1982, and I actually had already finished my master's degree in India itself, and I had worked for a couple of years, and I happened to just get a job in a Silicon Valley high technology company. And since then, pretty much I have worked all my life until I started my own in 1993. I pretty much had worked in mostly startup companies. So I was sort of fortunate to work with different kinds of startup companies so that even though I was an engineer for many, many years, I got to actually see different aspects of building the product and then bringing the product to the market as well. I started my own first company end of 1993, which is Excellence Communications, where we pioneered the whole concept of internet data centers. We had version 1 of the AWS cloud that we used to offer to our customers. The company, we went public in 1998. I left the company in 2000 to start another company called NetScaler, which actually solved the problem for this hyper growth that the data centers were experiencing because of the server inefficiency. We dramatically reduced almost like 10:1 in terms of the number of servers that people used to deploy before to people deployed with the NetScaler. So that reduced tremendous data center footprint consumption, power consumption, the overall cost of running a data center for corporations. And that company, as you know, after 9/11, the entire market sort of collapsed. So we'll discuss that a little bit later. But eventually we came back and we built a flagship product, the NetScaler load balancers, which then started to do extremely well. And in 2005, Citrix came forward to acquire us. So for the last 10, 12 years or so, I've been primarily focused as an angel investor, and I'm working with the next generation of entrepreneurs, mostly in B2B and enterprise infrastructure, software, SaaS companies. About 40% of my time I spend on nonprofit organizations, both in the US as well as in India.
Discussion topic, advice and warning for young Asian entrepreneurs.
Any kind of a unique insights, like enduring lessons that helped young, let's say, BV Jagadeesh, if you think that way, that you can share with because we are dealing with a lot of young people who follow, models like you. So do you have any kind of enduring lessons about the building, starting, growing startup companies that you really kind of think is stay with you and you can share with us?
So one general principle that I follow, and I have watched this across multiple successful people, is this acronym that I follow, what is called as the CPS. CPS. C is consistency, P is perseverance, and S is self-driven.
Self-driven, last one, okay.
Self-driven, right? So meaning whatever you do, be consistent with what you do. And disconnect your financial gain to the work that you do, right? Because the responsibility of the work you are doing is independent of your financial status. So if you've made a lot of money in the past, and if you are founding and becoming a CEO of a company today, don't do this company thinking that, hey, I'm already rich, this is not important to me. Because there are other people who are dependent on you. So for example, when we built the first company, right, obviously we did well. And when I was building the second company, especially after 9/11, a lot of people came to me and said, why are you going through this torture? Why don't you just sit on the beach, wait for 3 more years, let the market come back, and then you can come back? I said, no, I'm running this company. I have 80 people who are dependent on what I'm going to do, right? Besides, I believe that we can do something with this thing. So stuck to it and made it happen. And look at today, right? It's $1 billion in business, and it has given jobs for thousands and thousands of people across the globe. So that's the consistency part of it. And the perseverance is, life is always, you'll always have ups and downs.
Yeah.
Always. There'll be people who'll be saying you cannot do this, right? But you just believe in yourself and keep at it. The third is, nobody should be telling you. Your board should not be telling you. Your investors should not be telling you. It should be self-driven kind of a thing. And I think if you adapt that kind of a mindset, the CPS mindset, you have a greater chance to succeed and build a great company.
Do you think in general public or in like a mass media, any kind of misperceptions or misunderstandings about entrepreneurship, starting new business, that have been kind of misunderstood or kind of overlooked? But based upon your insight, you think, that's not true. Many people should be aware of those kind of misperceptions.
One thing that unfortunately sometimes it happens, when few entrepreneurs, right, especially coming from a certain section of the society, if they do wrongful things or unethical things or illegal things, then you kind of get put into that bucket, right? Even if you are working hard, even if you're doing a good job or whatever it is, for a moment, people will start putting lens on you. Because, hey, maybe you could be similar to that person, right? And this happens more for people like us who are immigrants, who have come from certain countries. And if some of your countrymen end up doing things like this somewhere, I have seen the perception on you kind of starts to change for a while. And then, of course, things will start coming back in a normal way. So that's the reality of the situation that we all need to face. And that's why, my request to any entrepreneur is stay truthful, stay honest, right? Don't try to do things that are unethical and crossing the boundaries and doing things that are not legal, because you will get caught. At some point of time, you will get caught. Why put yourself in trouble and put others also in trouble? Just because of greed.
Yeah, I see your point. So there's like collateral damage to even to that particular group of people who are similar to you.
Correct.
Okay.
Exactly.
Actually relating to that, just very quickly, because you mentioned about that, do you have any kind of observations or the kind of advice for the Asian entrepreneurs? Because Asian is very wide, kind of diverse groups. But in general, do you have like any comments or observation about the young Asian entrepreneurs?
Well, I think typically a first-time entrepreneur coming from the Asian background, generally it's hard to convince to raise the money. So don't get disheartened by that, right? Go figure out various avenues of some small money that you can raise, or do something, right? Or put your savings and something like that, and use your cash wisely and go and pursue your dream. So first time, It's always tough, always. And especially so because you're an Asian. And that becomes a challenge. And luckily, a lot of things have improved today compared to when we started the business back in early 90s. But still, first-time entrepreneurs will always have this challenge. But go figure out, right, how to work around. Because the good news is, in the Asian ecosystem, there is a lot more people who are willing to fund you today, at least the seed investment, the early investments and stuff like that. And leverage that and build that into the mainstream based on building a successful product and successful market. Because once the mainstream VCs see you penetrating into the main market, then they don't care at that point of time. Right? They don't care whether you are an Asian, whether you are, some other country person. They don't really care. All that they care is, do you have a product that resonates to the customer, and is the customer appreciating your product and writing a check? Can this be multiplied into something big? Yeah, sure. Let's be part of it.
Thank you for watching.